Say the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, I'll call to order the meeting of the Otero County Board of Commissioners. Presentations, Danny Chavez.
Good afternoon, everyone. If you don't know me, my name is Danny Chavez. I am the board chair of Otero County Landfill Incorporated. And we had a press release come out last week, and I've been asked to come in and speak on it and answer any questions that you may have. I'll start with a few notes. Otero County Landfill is honored to be able to accept the demolition debris from the tragic event that took place at Return to Nature Funeral Home. OCLI hopes to help bring some closure and relief to the many families who have had to suffer through this horrible ordeal. The actions they're taking to make sure that this is a good, successful, clean project. The cleanup will be conducted under the direction of EPA's emergency response personnel and its trained hazardous materials contractors. The EPA, the Colorado Department of Public Health and the Environment, and OCLI, we all uniformly agree that there is no health risk to the public based on the safety measures in place for demolition, transport, and disposal. All health and safety measures put in place for this removal action adhere to rigorous and stringent protocols to safeguard both workers and the community to ensure complete protection of the public health and the environment. So with that, I'm open to any questions that anybody may have.
So I guess for me, why didn't the other two, their local counties take the debris?
That I don't know for sure. You know, not all landfills are created equally.
Right.
Maybe they are not permitted to take it. I know the landfills up there are privately owned.
Fremont doesn't have their own
No.
county one?
No, it's ran by Twin Enviro.
So
And Pueblo's I think both of theirs are run by Waste Connections, Waste Management.
So my next question would be, being they're out of town, and I would hope we would do this with everybody. I know what we pay to dump our stuff. Are they paying premium? They pay double, triple to dump their stuff, or?
Well, I'm not gonna say that it's triple, but yes, we do have higher fees for out-of-county stuff. We are not charging any more than we would for any other out-of-county special waste, but I mean, with any piece of trash that goes in, there is a cost
Right.
associated with it.
Well, I don't have a problem with dumping the building myself, just so long as we're not, because as a citizen, I know what it costs me to dump out there, and I also know that if they're paying the same price as I am, something's not right. But if you're telling me that they're paying more,
Oh, yes.
like an out-of-town rate or whatever.
Yes, but I mean, by no means are we getting rich by this.
Right. Well,
According to some of
they're not
the,
getting rich. I mean, we all want to get rich, but
the comments that I've read, no, it's nothing like that, but yes, they are paying more than it would be an in-county project.
and I don't think there's any juju or whatever that goes along with that. I mean, it's a building.
Right.
For crying out loud.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That was my big concern is just so long as they're paying, decent price to get their stuff in here.
Yeah, it's such a bad circumstance under it that a lot of people really don't want to talk about what it is and what it isn't. What it isn't is it's not bodies.
Bodies, right.
It is not even parts or whatever else. It's been very well cleaned. It is a building that has been thoroughly cleaned and
Right.
sanitized, and that's what we're taking.
Well, weeks and months of getting the bodies out and cleaning up, I can imagine there's anything left, but.
Is OCLI taking any extra steps or precautions or any extra measures for this material?
Yes, absolutely. With our agreement with the EPA, we are taking extra steps. Our employees that will be around it and having to cover it immediately, they will have proper PPE and items like that. We're going to immediately cover it with 12 inches of soil. The materials themselves are coming double bagged, sprayed down before they go into the bag. Once it's placed on the ground and before it's covered with the soil, it'd be sprayed with another disinfectant and covered with soil. Our landfill is very well designed and to handle this. We're permitted. We take projects from all over the state, not just the counties around us. I mean, because of the way that we built it, the way we designed it, and the way we run it. We run it well.
You might state your name for the record.
Oh, Gary Reed. I live in Rocky Ford, and we own the radio station
Okay.
out here, and my wife has a little sign business in Rocky Ford, and we have lots of rental houses.
Thank you.
Sorry about that. I should have said that earlier.
Anyone else under public comment have questions of Danny? No?
All right.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Way to go, huh?
Thanks, Danny.
Yep.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Been moved and seconded that we approve the consent agenda. Consent agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. No old business? New business. Amy, Resolution 2024-07 stance against the sale of agricultural water for municipal use, upholding personal property rights.
Perfect, thank you. And I, like Danny, also have the fun allergies happening right now, so hopefully I can get through this. This resolution was written on the premise of there needs to be a fine balance between honoring personal property rights and protecting the water in our Arkansas Valley. It's always important to say we like less government than more government. So anyway, may I read it?
Please do.
Yes, please
Okay.
do.
Whereas the Otero County Commissioners recognize and deeply value the significance of agriculture to our local economy and the sustainability of the Arkansas Valley. And whereas water stands as the lifeblood of agriculture in our region, nourishing our farms, ranches, and livelihoods. Whereas the bedrock of our society lies in the absolute rights of personal property, including the right to make decisions about one's property. And whereas despite our disagreement with the sale of agricultural water for municipal use, we acknowledge and respect the right of property owners to make choices in accordance with their personal property rights. And whereas the practice of diverting agricultural water to urban areas weakens our agricultural sector and diminishes the robustness of our local economy as a whole. And whereas the redirection of agricultural water undermines our ability to fulfill our duty in feeding our nation. Whereas the Board of County Commissioners of Otero County desires to support personal property rights, but desires to stand resolute against the sale of agricultural water for municipal use. Now therefore be it resolved by the Otero County Board of Commissioners that the Otero County Commissioners assert their opposition to the sale of agricultural water for municipal use while fervently upholding the integrity of personal property rights. Be it further resolved that the Otero County Commissioners reiterate their unwavering commitment to safeguarding agricultural water resources within the Arkansas Valley for agricultural purposes, thereby ensuring the vitality of our farms, ranches, and communities.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have a motion.
I would move to approve, let me get the resolution number. Resolution 2024-07.
And I will second that.
Been moved and seconded that we approve Resolution -2024-07, stance against the sale of agricultural water for municipal use, upholding personal property rights. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. 2024 Memorandum of Understanding, 16th Judicial District Attorney. Amy?
Thank you. What I'm also presenting to you today is the annual MOU that is between the 3 counties that make up the 16th Judicial, so Bent, Crowley, and Otero. Statutorily, the counties are responsible for funding that office and making sure that it's whole and can provide the services to our communities. This year, the annual allocation did have quite a bit of a hike, about $174,000 more than last year. In the meetings, it was really important to all of the commissioners in the 3 counties to assure that the district attorney is staffed appropriately to be able to prosecute crimes in the counties. So it is a budget coming from the counties of a little over $1 million. I think that's all I have unless there's questions.
Okay. Any questions?
I don't have any. So I will make a motion to approve the 2024 Memorandum of Understanding for the 16th Judicial District.
Second.
Been moved and seconded that we approve the 2024 Memorandum of Understanding, the 16th Judicial District Attorneys. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. Bid acceptance for the network infrastructure. Amy?
Yep. The last thing that I would request approval on is accepting a bid for the network infrastructure for the admin building and the detention center. This is basically all of the technological cabling to handle Wi-Fi and phones and all of that, minus the cameras, of course, and the lock system. We did separate this project out. Fortunately, we had 2 different firms bid on that project. The lowest being from Phillips Communications in Sherrod, which receives our matrix. Anybody that bids, we give 20% of the bid project if they're local, and then of course I have 70 or 80% of the cost of the project into the scoring. So Phillips Communication was our local bidder, and they also came in as the lowest bidder, $29,341 for that project. Reading the bids, I would suggest that you accept Phillips Communications. The other bidder was from Pueblo Electrics.
All right. Well,
Motion?
I will move to accept the bid from Phillips Communications in the amount of $29,341.
I'll second that.
Been moved and seconded that we approve the bid for the network infrastructure from Phillips Communication for $29,341. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Departmental reports. Lynn?
Had all 3 sets of eyes turn this way at once. Not much going on in our office. Everything's pretty quiet for now, getting ready for the June primary. Yeah, that's kind of where we're at.
Okay.
I apologize, I apparently misinterpreted the public comment for, as in reference to the disposal of the building, not the public comment section of the meeting. Is it still possible to make a 3-minute comment on some things? It would be skipping back. I apologize. You kind of went right from him, and I thought, I don't have any comments on him, so I didn't really pay any attention to it. So, and I'm realizing now, like, oh, I screwed up, so I apologize. Hopefully under 3 minutes. I did it once in 2:58, so we'll see. My name is, I am here from Fowler today. I mainly grow specialty produce with my wife out in Fowler, work with e-commerce business that she has that has grown quite large. But my main occupation is fundraising for nonprofits, mainly children's nonprofits. Last 5+ years, I've raised several $1 million. 2023, just shy of 600,000. More than half of that stayed here in Otero County with families and children in need. Whether it's the grant writing that I do, creating corporate partnerships, pulling semi-loads of pallets of inventory out of distribution center warehouses for nonprofits and delivering them. I handle all of that. I'm semi-retired from film and television. It's part of what I came here to do. That goes very well. I do it as a volunteer. I don't get paid. I also donate about $100,000 to $200,000 a year myself from my businesses. It's also part of what I came here to do. Don't worry, I'm not here to ask you for funding. Not today. I'm more of a grant writer and direct corporate person with the fundraising, so I don't ask counties, municipalities, and things like that. What I am here to talk about, unfortunately, is child abuse and a number of other ongoing crimes that myself and a number of people in and around Fowler have been documenting very carefully for 5+ years. It's just, no matter what we do, doesn't seem to have any attention. Video, audio, affidavits, I'll repeat again, a long line of people who would be willing to testify. Did you know that it's perfectly legal to scream obscenities at little kids? Screaming racial slurs at little girls? Telling kids you're going to kill them and their pets? It's covered under freedom of speech, according to law enforcement and the courts. Spitting at them, on them, is also legal. It's been going on for years. Fowler Muni Court actually ruled that spitting out on people is completely legal, as is threatening their lives. I have a case number in the transcript if you'd like it. 17+ kids from over a dozen families have been told to stay off a section of State Highway 167 and County Road Greens because some drug addicts who live down there who like to harass everybody and threaten everybody and do all kinds of other things, quote, might go off. Now that's the same scenario that has preceded many shootings and other crimes that end up in the news. There's lead up to, oh, just stay away, just ignore them, don't look at them, they're gonna go off, they're gonna go off. We hear it over and over again. You can scream at the neighbors' kids and their parents every day when they're outside. And every time when they come home from work, we hear it. I live down the road, but you can put out outdoor speakers, and anytime kids walk by, go outside to play, crank it up. You're not outside. Threatening people both with a real and a fake gun is legal, and by prohibited people, by the way. You can threaten someone's life, run them off the road on their motorcycle, run away, and while it's all on video, it's just careless driving. I know I'm over, I'm sorry. Exposing your genitals to kids, teens, and adults over and over and over, dozens of people. It goes on and gets worse. The courts have done nothing. They believe that people can whisper 100 yards. Anybody here whisper 100 yards? Can anybody see 100 yards that at the end of that 100 yards is a solid metal panel fence and see through it? Well, I got a court case and transcript that'll blow your mind. The worst thing is that if you document child abuse, a number of us have for a number of years, and rail against it, which I feel is my duty, as a lot of other people do, nobody will do anything about it. Yet the town attorney and the DA will threaten you with charges of child abuse for talking about it. I got a letter right here that says exactly that. They acknowledge that what these people are doing for years is child abuse. But we can't talk about it? Anyway, a state patrol officer who's been watching this and out a bunch of times, mainly for a bunch of shootings, watching it spiral, said we should really contact the state AG. We've done that. Also, letting every single elected state official know they get CC'd on everything. Where does this end? I mean, I bust my ass thousands of hours raising huge amounts of money and delivering products for families and children all over the state, most of it here in Otero.
Who are you here to complain about? Because we have nothing to do with the city of Fowler.
You oversee the sheriff.
We have nothing to do with the city of Fowler.
No, you oversee the sheriff.
And you're in city limits.
And these people are county. And half of these things on freedom of speech come from the sheriffs. So, the
Okay.
DA is county.
Your time is over.
Thanks, Jim.
Thank you.
Yep.
You better.
Departmental reports.
Yes. Danny, do you have anything with the fires or anything?
There's no way I can follow that up. No, this weekend, we had several agencies from the county go out and help out Pueblo with the Everest fire and the other fires that they had going on. They had several big ones that going on at the same time. But lucky for us, we escaped everything.
Good. Here.
That was contained, wasn't it? Just to the, around the,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. It was.
Awesome.
If you've seen videos on it, it was pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Pretty big fire.
Amy?
I'm kind of like Danny. That's the first time I'll ever say that, and the last. So I have been working, of course, detention, not trying to get into detention, but trying to build detention. And spending time, I'm sure, I don't want to take away from your reports. I spend time with you guys at the same meetings, so putting this MOU to bed was good. Just a lot going on. Once again, detention.
District Attorney.
Yep. Lots of D words.
Jim?
I'll let you handle it.
You want me to go?
Tim, go.
Sure.
So certainly detention with Amy meetings, the DA, MOU was another important one that we were working on last week. I did attend a meeting with Senator Hickenlooper at Hiricata Farms. Amy, you were with me on that one, which we talked about, which is a lot of where our resolution came from. The property rights of people, as well as trying to protect the water in the valley and to keep it here. And I was with Hiricata Farms and a lot of the other growers around the county to try and protect their way of life and to make sure that we protect our lifeblood, which is food that we provide not only locally but to the country, and how important it is to have that water supply here to continue to grow. And so we had that conversation with Senator Hickenlooper and his group about possibly creating incentives to help the farmers and the ranchers in this area protect that and keep the water here. I also attended a meeting with, town hall meeting with Senator Pelton and Representative Winter, in which we discussed upcoming legislation that they're getting ready to vote on, the long bill, which was being debated and talked about last week, and then other legislation that's coming up, and just wanting our view and how it affects us, passage or not passage. And then last week also in Lamar for the Southeast Colorado Council of Governments and Economic Development with all the other counties in the region. That's all I got.
Okay. And with me, most all of the meetings that Tim was talking about, I was at too. And I had a meeting with Senator Hickenlooper at the hospital, and it was on insurance, and it was really interesting because a lot of the hospital administrators from southeastern Colorado were there and talking about how much money they're losing every year from not getting paid from once they turn in their stuff to the insurance will only, for the most part, will only pay a certain percentage. They don't get paid near what they need to get paid, and the hospitals are really starting to struggle. And then they talked about trying to get funding, some kind of funding to remodel hospitals. They were talking about the hospital in Eads and the hospital in up in Hugo, and the hospital in Eads. I was in it the other day, and I was born there in 1957, and they still use that room that I was born in. That's how long it's that hospital they've been using it. So it was pretty interesting to listen to them. And, you know, they were saying that they were really struggling because it's getting the stuff that they have is so old in the buildings that they're having a hard time keeping them maintained. So it was very interesting. Okay. Announcements. We got any?
I don't think so.
Okay, if we don't have any more announcements, we are adjourned. Thank you very much all for coming.